G'day everybody and welcome to Andrew's Art and Models. I have another kit review for you today, surprise, surprise. This is the AMT 2500 scale Cadet series motion picture set. I got through that without tripping over my tongue, amazing. Very simple set, and it contains 3 rather small models of dubious quality, but that's not to say this isn't good. So let's crack this open and have a look. Okay, so we open up the box and we get our normal promotional paraphernalia. What's this? Our little join the club round 2 models and our instruction sheet. So let's have a quick look at this. The instructions for these are simple in the extreme. So these kits are made to be quick little builds, just to have a bit of fun, and I'd say they achieve that. They are really simple, so you can see the Enterprise there. You can see the, almost said Miranda class, what is a Miranda class, but the Reliant there. And you can see the Katinga there. So not a heck of a lot to do with these kits. They are really basic. The instructions on the back for decal placement are quite easy to follow. You just got to pay attention to what you're doing, and we will cover that in a minute. First, let's have a look at the kits. So, as I was saying, these little models are really nothing special, and some of you would remember I did a review on what was it? It was the Ferengi Marauder and the Klingon Bird of Prey in the same scale, and I was rather scathing to the point where I had to take that review down. So I'm not going to do that this time, but not because I don't want to. Right, so let's cover this. Details on this are not too bad. For such a small little model, it is actually quite nice, and it should build up to be a lovely little kit. There are some flash on some parts, but all the injector pin marks are hidden, and there's no real sink marks on the model or deformalities and parts where you can't fix it. That said, really simple model. It should be like that. Let's have a look at part of the Reliant. So the Reliant is the same. You will notice on the dish there are no panel lines. Now, if you were to, and there's no panel lines on here either on the rear section, but if you were to build this just as a model, and the same can be said for the Enterprise, without the details on there, it really does look pretty basic and fairly sparse. Now, because of the scale, I'd appreciate it is probably near impossible to get some reasonable looking panel lines on there that would be to scale. So they have left it out, but they've also left it out because of the treatment that you do to it later on. So don't dwell on that too much. There's a little bit of flash on some of the parts, but for the most part, most of them are easy to remove, and the injector pin marks are hidden. One thing I really don't like is the print on the back of these. It really bugs me. I don't know why they insist on doing that. And it's hard to see with a darker background, but with a lighter background, you can see it there with my finger behind it, it shows through. And I would recommend sanding that off before you start. Let's have a look at the other half of the Miranda class, and it is pretty much the same. So very little detail on here. The nacelles are done quite nicely. They look pretty good to me. And tiny little bit of flash, but no real sink marks. All the injection pin marks are hidden. Quite nice for a little model. And lastly, the Enterprise. So once again, saucer section is lacking detail around the areas, but that's all right. There are some scratches on this because they come in a single bag. So they do come back, but they come in a single bag and they rub during transport. So a light sanding may be required once you put down a primer coat on it, or just to test it, see how it goes. But if you're going to paint it, that is. But otherwise, not too bad. Once again, very little detail on the outside, but it is a tiny, tiny model. Tiny bit of flash, but all the injector pin marks are hidden, and it should go together reasonably well. Right. So, why am I not as scathing on this one as I was with the Marauder and the Klingon Bird of Prey? And it is simply because of this. So, we have a lovely, lovely decal sheet produced for these kits. It is a lovely representation of the detail and panel lining, everything that you will get on the larger versions of these. So specifically, there's no need to put it onto these because you're going to be doing it with the decals. They seem very well printed. Nice register, blah, 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 nice registration. Let's try that again. So everything looks like it's where it's meant to be. You'll see sometimes you'll see prints that are slightly off center or whatever, but everything on this looks really, really nice. Little port windows, all the panel lining detail. It is really well done. You cannot really complain about how they've done this. Very, very good. The Klingon ship, obviously, very simple. So a paint job for that would really help it shine. But with the Enterprise model and the Reliant model, the decals are definitely going to be the way to go. So, let's sum up. Star Trek Cadet Series motion picture set. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's not bad. It is not bad. If you're looking for a model where you want to paint all the little details and do all the washes and all that sort of stuff, this is probably not going to be the kit for you. It's simplistic in the extreme, and it's not really that kind of model. But if you're looking for one that will look good with a treatment like this, then that is certainly up your alley, so to speak. So I would recommend this kit. Probably not as a first kit, certainly for someone who hasn't built many kits but has had some experience with some water slide decals, it'll be perfect. Yeah, as a first kit, I'd be really worried about it because these can be tricky. I haven't put these on myself, but decals have a tendency to be all right 99% of the time, and you always get that one that wants to curl over or split or crack or whatever. It is going to be a challenge to put all these on, especially on such a small model. But if you can do it successfully, it will look a treat. So looking forward to seeing how these come up. This is a giveaway kit, so I'm not going to be building this, but hopefully I'll get some messages on my Facebook page and we'll see how it goes. Star Trek AMT Cadet Series 1 2500 scale. Yeah, I'd look for it. If you're a Trek fan, this is definitely going to be something for you. And it's a nice, quick, easy weekend build. You should be able to knock these over pretty quickly. So yeah, something I would look at. Thanks for watching, and we'll have more kit reviews coming.